Coming up, the Loyola Chicago Ramblers took on the St. Joseph's Hoxha in the first round of the Atlantic 10 men's basketball tournament. We have your highlights.
I'm Gabbi Lumma.
And I'm Vanesa Hoxha.
All this and so much more.
From Brooklyn, New York, Rambler Sports Locker begins now.
Welcome back to another episode of Rambler Sports Locker. I'm joined by Vanesa Hoxha here in New York City.
That's right, Gabbi. Our RSL crew came to the Big Apple to cover the Atlantic 10 tournament, where Loyola played St. Joseph's University in the first round.
The tournament is taking place at the Barclays Center, home of the Brooklyn Nets and the WNBA's New York Liberty. The arena holds some history of its own as the host of the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament since 2013. According to the Barclays Center, the arena seats over 17,500 people for basketball and up to 19,000 for concerts. At the end of the tournament, the winning team will take home the trophy and be named the Atlantic 10 men's basketball champions.
What a great place for the teams to end their season and for friends, family, and fans to watch.
I agree, Vanessa. On that note, we're not the only Chicagoans to make the trip to see the Ramblers, as many Loyola fans came to show their support.
That's right, Gabbi. Loyola's cheer dance team, band, parents, and alum attended the tournament to cheer on the Ramblers. Before the game, Loyola fans gathered in the lobby of the hotel to send the team off. Here's what Loyola head coach Drew Valentine had to say before heading off to take on St. Joseph's in the first round of the tournament.
Our guys are excited. I'm feeling good, and you guys know what the Ramblers do in March, baby.
Coming into the tournament, the Ramblers were seeded 15th and St. Joseph's was seeded 10th. The teams had similar overall and conference records, Loyola at 4-14 in A10 and 10-20 overall. The Hawks came in at 15-16 overall and 8-10 in the A10.
Both teams also came off a win to end their respective seasons, the Ramblers winning only their second road conference game of the season against LaSalle University.
The last time these teams played was at Gentile Arena February 8th, where the Hawks beat the Ramblers 83-71. Despite a career night from redshirt senior guard Braden Norris, who scored a game and career high 25 points, the Hawks overcame Loyola's late game effort to come back. To seal the win, St. Joseph scored 12 unanswered points.
A game plan for the Ramblers going into the game would have to include guarding St. Joe's sophomore guards Eric Reynolds and Lynn Greer III, cleaning up fouls and turnovers, along with being scrappy on both ends of the ball.
That's right, Vanessa. Valentine also switched up the starting lineup to accommodate more shooting guards in the lineup, including Norris and junior guard Sheldon Edwards. This move was very important for the Ramblers, who had to score big from beyond the arc against the Hawks.
However, despite their efforts and switched up game plan, the Ramblers weren't able to pull off the win and finished another late game comeback, falling 72-67 to the Hawks.
In a heartbreaking and season-ending game, the Loyola Chicago Ramblers fell to the St. Joseph's Hawks 72-67 in the first round of the Atlantic 10 men's basketball tournament here in Brooklyn, New York. Here's how it happened. To start off the match, the two teams went neck and neck. Redshirt freshman forward Ben Schweiger and Loyola's leading scorers junior forward Philip Alston and redshirt senior Braden Norris connected shots in the paint, which would help the Ramblers. However, the Hawks effectively and aggressively responded with shots outside the paint. St. Joseph's ended the first half shooting at 42.1% beyond the arc. Coming into the second half, the Ramblers brought the heat. Junior guard Sheldon Edwards assisted the Ramblers with a few threes and overall played aggressively. Although the Ramblers were hungry for a win, it wasn't enough to stop the Hawks' hot shooting. Lead scorer Lynn Greer III ended his night with 22 points and went 4 for 4 from 3, followed by Cameron Brown going 3 for 8 and Eric Reynolds II, who went 2 for 7 from the three-point line. In the press conference after the match, Loyola head coach Drew Valentine took responsibility for the lack of pressure against the Hawks' threes.
If somebody made a shot like today, Lynn Greer making those threes on those unders, that is Drew Valentine's fault. So as much as Braden wants to blame himself or Phil wants to blame himself, some of it is on me.
He then addressed the work to be done in the offseason.
The message is all about getting better. and improving and finding a way to get to get our program to where we all want it to be at and believe it should be at. So that's kind of the message after the game.
Although the Ramblers came up short, their efforts didn't go unnoticed, especially to the Hawks' head coach, Billy Lang.
Play a team for the third time, try to win against a program that's got incredible tradition and history and pride in the right way, well coached, senior leadership, guys that have played in the NCAA tournament.
The St. Joseph's Hawks now advance to the second round, where they will face number 7 seeded George Washington University. The Loyola Ramblers finished the season at 4-15 in conference and 10-21 overall. For Rambler Sports Locker, for the last time, it's executive producer Gabbi Lumma. As my last game covering the Ramblers, it was definitely a tough loss for me to watch, but I am so glad I was able to experience this season with the team.
And I have to say, thank you for being the biggest role model to me. We're going to miss you so much next year. While the Ramblers headed home following the game, we stayed to explore some of the rich sports history in New York City at another famous arena, Madison Square Garden.
Exploring the city is always so fun. Earlier, our crew went to check out the arena, and Vanesa has the story.
I'm here in front of Madison Square Garden, one of the most well-known arenas and the new home of the Chicago Blackhawks legend, Patrick Kane. Located in Midtown Manhattan across the street from Penn Station, Madison Square Garden is one of the oldest NBA arenas and is the second oldest NHL arena. As the home of the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers, the Garden is used for a variety of sports events, concerts, circuses, and so much more. Currently, the arena is hosting the Big East men's basketball tournament for the 41st consecutive year. The Garden definitely takes the cake for being the most iconic arena in the city.
Well, Vanessa, that wraps up this episode of Rambler Sports Locker from New York City.
To stay up to date on all things Rambler Sports, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Loyola RSL and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From all of us here at Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Vanesa Hoxha.
And I'm executive producer Gabbi Lumma.
And don't forget to turn off the lights.